Mga madlang people. Have you ever been so hurt that you started questioning everything? Pati gravity, kinuwestiyon mo na. Bakit ka nahulog pero siya hindi? Bakit ang bills tumataas pero ang feelings niya sa'yo bumabagsak? Ganyan talaga. When your heart is broken into a million tiny pieces, you suddenly become a philosopher. You become a scientist. You start creating theories about love, life, and the universe. You try to find logic in the illogical. You try to find the why behind the goodbye. This, my friends, is the birth of Hugot. It's not just a trend, it's a survival instinct. It's our way of packaging our pain into something relatable, something funny, and sometimes something that makes a weird kind of sense. My love life, for example, has become my personal laboratory, a messy, chaotic, and often explosive laboratory. Every heartbreak is a failed experiment. Every I love you that turned into usura. It's not you, it's me is a hypothesis that was proven wrong. So I started observing. I became a researcher of my own romantic tragedies. I looked at the world, at nature, and even at science, just to find answers. Why do some people stay? Why do others leave? Why is commitment so hard for some, yet so easy for others to fake? The Hugot lines we throw around aren't just empty words. They are conclusions drawn from painful data. They are our personal scientific journals, written in the language of tears, laughter, and a whole lot of sana all. So today, let's turn our pain into a TED Talk. Let's make our tears the topic of a scientific symposium. We will dissect the concepts of love and loyalty, not with the cold hard facts of a textbook, but with the warm, bleeding emotions of a heart that has been through the ringer. We're going to explore the ideas of monogamy and polygamy through the lens of someone who has been cheated on. What happens when your entire belief system about the one is shattered? You create a new one. You build a new philosophy, not out of hope, but out of the rubble of your past. This isn't just about being bitter. This is about being a survivor. This is about finding your own truth, even if it's a truth born from a beautiful lie. This is Hugot Science. It's a field of study where your feelings are the facts and your experiences are the evidence. It's where we analyze the chemical reactions of a kiss and the physics of a ghosting. In my case, I studied the behavior of a species I thought I knew, the loyal partner. My findings were disappointing, but they were also enlightening. My research led me to question the very foundation of modern relationships, the promise of one-on-one. Is it natural? Is it sustainable? Or is it just the greatest, most painful social experiment of all time? Let's put on our lab coats, mga madlang people. It's time to get scientific with our feelings. And trust me, there will be a quiz after. The prize? Moving on. Sharo. Let's get clinical. Monogamy, from the Greek words monos, single, and gamos, marriage, is the practice of having only one partner at a time. It's the fairy tale we were all sold. Cinderella had one prince, Snow White had one prince, Sleeping Beauty had one prince. It's the ikaw lang, sapat na ideology. It's beautiful, it's ideal. It's a scam. For me at least. In my experience, monogamy is the perfect setup for heartbreak. It's a high-stakes game where you bet your entire heart on one person, hoping they don't have other betting stations on the side. When they cheat, they don't just break a rule, they shatter the entire universe you built around them. They make a fool out of the concept of the one. Now let's talk about polygamy. From poly, many, and gamos, marriage. This is the practice of having more than one partner. Society calls it scandalous. Religion often forbids it. But from the perspective of a broken heart, it suddenly looks honest. Hear me out. I'm not saying let's all go out and collect partners like Pokemon. Girl, isa nga lang, sakit na sa ulo, paano pa kaya kung marami? But think about the principle. In a polygamous setup, everything is out in the open. The expectation is clear. You are not the one and only. There is no pretense of exclusivity. It's a painful truth, maybe, but it's still the truth. It's a system that acknowledges the wandering eye, the divided heart, the human capacity for loving more than one. So here's my Hugot analysis. The problem with the cheater in a monogamous relationship is not the act of loving someone else. The problem is the lie. The problem is the betrayal of the promise. Adultery in monogamy is a crime of deception. You were promised a kingdom where you were the one and only ruler, only to find out there were other queens in other castles all along. Polygamy, in its purest, most honest form, removes the element of surprise. It's like watching a movie after someone already told you the ending. You know what to expect. There's no shocking plot twist where you find out the love of your life has another life. The pain is laid out on the table from the very beginning. In my mind, the cheater who pretends to be monogamous is the real villain. They want the benefits of polygamy, multiple partners, variety, ego boosts, but under the respectable cloak of monogamy. They want to have their cake, eat it too, and then tell you that you're the only cake they'll ever want. It's a scam of epic proportions. It turns love into a conspiracy. So which is worse? An honest system where you know you are one of many, or a dishonest system where you are told you are the only one, but you really aren't? For someone who has been lied to, the answer becomes painfully, shockingly clear. The honest devil is better than the lying angel. After my heart got a PhD in pain, I had to update my vocabulary. The old dictionary just wasn't working for me anymore. The words didn't match the reality I experienced. So, I wrote my own. Let's start with the word loyalty. The old definition is faithfulness to one person. My new definition? Loyalty is honesty. You are loyal to me if you are honest with me about your feelings, even if those feelings include someone else. Loyalty is not pretending to be exclusive when your heart is a public park. I would rather you tell me, hey, I like you but I also like someone else, than for you to say I love you and only you while your phone is blowing up with messages from your best friend. See the difference? Loyalty is no longer about exclusivity. It's about transparency. Next up, adultery. The legal books define it based on who is married and who is not. For me, it's simpler. Adultery is the act of making someone believe they are your everything when they are just your something. It is the crime of the lie. It's not the physical act of being with another person that is the ultimate sin. It's the betrayal of trust. If a person is in an open relationship where both partners agree to see other people, is that adultery? No. It's an arrangement. But when a person promises you monogamy and then breaks it behind your back, that is the highest form of adultery. It's a spiritual and emotional crime. It's when you murder the trust that the other person gave you. And finally, the big words: concubinage and adultery. The law has different penalties for men and women. It's complicated, it's unfair. In my new dictionary, they are the same thing. They are both just different flavors of the same poison: dishonesty. I don't care about the legal gymnastics. I care about the emotional terrorism. When you promise someone the moon and the stars, but you're secretly building rockets to visit other planets, you are an emotional terrorist. That is the real crime. My new philosophy doesn't distinguish between the man who keeps a mistress and the woman who has a lover. The bottom line is the lie. The original sin is the promise of exclusivity that was never meant to be kept. This new dictionary is my shield. It's my way of protecting myself. By redefining these words, I am taking back control. I am refusing to be a victim of the old romanticized definitions that got me hurt in the first place. My heart now operates on a different set of rules. The first and only rule is radical honesty. You can love one, you can love many, I don't care. But you will be honest about it, because the opposite of love is not hate, it's indifference. But the opposite of a relationship, it's a lie. And I'm done with lies. That chapter of my dictionary is closed, burned, and the ashes have been scattered. So, is this new philosophy the absolute truth? Is it the new gospel of love? Of course not, mega madlong people. Let's be real. This whole honest polygamy is better than lying monogamy worldview is. At its core, a coping mechanism. It's a fortress I built around my heart using the bricks of my past heartbreaks. When you've been burned by the fire of a lie, you become afraid of any kind of warmth. You start to believe that all flames are meant to destroy, so you'd rather stand in the cold, hard truth. This philosophy is born out of intense pain, anger, and a desperate need to make sense of a betrayal that felt senseless. It's my mind's way of protecting my heart from ever being that stupidly, blindly, and beautifully in love again. It's a defense mechanism. By telling myself that honesty is the only thing that matters, I am preparing myself for a world where no one can ever be truly just for me. I am lowering my expectations to a level where they can't be shattered. If I expect people to be capable of loving more than one, then I won't be surprised when they do. It's a sad, cynical way to live, isn't it? It's like refusing to go to the beach because you're afraid of a tsunami. You miss out on all the sun, the sand, and the fun, just to avoid a disaster that may or may not happen. This philosophy is my personal life vest, but wearing it all the time means I can never learn to swim freely in the ocean of love again. But here's the lesson, and I want you all to listen closely. While my perspective is a coping mechanism, the core message is still valid. The most important ingredient in any relationship, whether it's monogamous, polygamous, or it's complicated, is honesty. You cannot build a future on a foundation of lies. The pain of cheating doesn't just come from the act itself. It comes from the destruction of trust. It comes from the feeling of being made a fool. It comes from realizing that the person you shared your soul with was never really there. The real killer of love is deception. So, whatever your preference is, whatever arrangement you choose, make it a point to be honest. Honest with your partner, and most importantly, honest with yourself. So, what's the warning? Be careful not to let your pain write your entire life story. It's okay to build walls to protect yourself, but don't forget to install a gate. It's okay to be cynical for a while, but don't let bitterness become your personality. My Hugot science is my way of healing, but it's not my final destination. The goal is to learn from the pain, not to live in it. The goal is to one day be brave enough to believe in monogamy again, to believe in the one again, but this time, with eyes wide open. The goal, my dear Madlang people, is to be strong enough to take off the life vest and finally, dare to swim again. Mabuhay ang mga marupok na lumalaban.